My name is Father Derek from the Diocese of Kamloops, and I wanted to give another little tip on sacraments. One of the things that I really like about sacraments is that it's God's love made tangible in a very simple way. And so what I have behind me is a humongous ocean liner ship with the waters. And you can just imagine the whole human race is like we're on this ship, and then all of a sudden we hit an iceberg or something and everybody falls off, and we're drowning in the water, and we're saying, save me, because we all need to be saved, right? So save me. Now, there's no way that I can go up to the edge of the ship here and make my way back up to the deck. Even if we all got together and tried to help each other to get back up on the deck for salvation, we couldn't do it. So humanity of its own accord can't save itself. It needs somebody from outside of humanity to come in and save us. That's why God is still on the deck, and what he's going to do, he's going to throw a lifesaver so that the lifesaver will hit the water, and it's something tangible. God's love made tangible that we can grab onto, and we'll be pulled back up onto the deck. Not because of our own efforts alone, but through the grace of God and our own participation by grabbing onto the lifesaver to get us back up on the ship. Now with the lifesaver, the idea is, well, what about on the other side of the ship, and let's say there's no lifesaver? What about those people who have no chance of hearing about God or Jesus, and they're stuck on an isolated island? What about them? How are they going to be saved? Well, one of the distinctions is that when we have the lifesaver thrown to us and it's within our reach, then we're obligated to grab the lifesaver to pull us back up onto the deck. Now, if there's no lifesaver, no fault of our own, then that's not going to be the person's necessary fault. If I put it in a different way, we are bound to the sacraments. God is not. So if God, let's say he wanted somebody on the other side, and there's no lifesaver on the other side, but God decides that he's going to just beam up, like the Star Trek movie, beam up Scotty out of the water to put him back on the deck. He could do that. That would be an extraordinary way of salvation. However, God expects us to use the ordinary means of salvation, which is he's thrown us the sacraments, these tangible realities we can grab onto, and that pulls us back up onto the ship, makes us part of the church, and then the church is going to lead us to the direction of heaven. And so God is not bound to the sacraments, we are. That's his prerogative, not ours. But when we have the sacraments, then we're bound to grab onto them. Here's another story that is well known. Remember the guy who he's on his house, and the flood is coming, and the water is rising higher and higher, and eventually he gets to the roof of his house, and he says, God, save me. And then, so all of a sudden, a log comes along, and he looks at the log and says, it's a little bit slimy. Don't want to go on it. So he lets the log go. And then he says, God, save me. And all of a sudden, a boat comes along, and there's quite a few people on it. And he says, there's too many people. And so he lets the boat go by. And so the guy on the roof says, oh, save me, God. And so a helicopter comes, and he is offered a rope to grab onto. And he says, I'm afraid of heights. And so eventually the helicopter goes, and then the flood comes, and it just kills him. He gets to the gate of heaven, and he says, God, why didn't you save me? And God says, I tried to. I sent you 3 tangible ways: the log, the boat, and the helicopter, and you chose not to grab onto them. So what do you want me to do? And so when we have the things given to us, these tangible realities, the sacraments, then we're bound by them. And just one little note to end off is that everyone is obligated to search for the truth. Doesn't matter your background, whether you're atheist, agnostic, Buddhist, Catholic, Muslim, whatever. Everyone is obligated to search for the truth. with all your heart, soul, mind, and body, with everything. Number 2, once you know the truth, then you must follow it, or your own conscience will condemn you. And thirdly, the more that's given, the more is expected. So in other words, if we're brought in a land where we have Christianity and we don't capitalize on it, well, the more that we're exposed to Christianity, the more we are bound to grab on to that truth.